speaker, Sheikh Vinay, and respected elders, Assalamu alaikum. The person I have chosen to talk about, who was a hero at Karbala, is Muslim ibn Awsaja. Muslim ibn Awsaja al-Asadi was a companion of Prophet Muhammad and a brave soldier among Arab Muslims. He was an honorable man who was famous for worship, fairness, and generosity. He was also a companion of Imam Hussein. He was one of the first martyred companion of Imam Hussein in Karbala. Muslim ibn Awsaja was a leading citizen of Kufa and was among those who had written letters to Imam Hussein inviting him to go to Kufa. He was nearly 80 years old. He was the commander of the tribes of Bani Asad and Madhaj in Kufa at the time that Muslim ibn Aqil began an uprising in this city. Muslim bin Aqil traveled to Kufa before the Battle of Karbala. When he arrived in Kufa, Muslim ibn Awsaja supported him with weaponry and tried to take oath of allegiance for Imam Hussein. According to a number of narrations, when Muslim ibn Aqil arrived in Kufa, at first he went into Muslim ibn Awsaja's house. People gathered there to take oath of allegiance. They swore to Allah they would defend Imam Hussein to their last breath. They sent letters to Imam Hussein about the allegiance of people. Then Imam Hussein began his travel to Kufa. Muslim ibn Awsaja played a crucial role in all these events. When Ibn Ziyad wanted to find out where Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil was hiding in Kufa, he sent a spy to Muslim bin Awsaja. The spy pretended to be a devout Shia, and Hazrat Muslim bin Awsaja believed him and took him to Hazrat Muslim. Hazrat Muslim bin Awsaja never forgave himself for having accepted the story of the spy so easily. After the murder of Hazrat Muslim ibn Aqil, Hazrat Muslim bin Awsaja slipped out of Kufa. He left Kufa by foot and traveled towards Mecca in the hope of meeting Imam Hussein on the way. Some historians record that he met and joined Imam at the place called Karbala on the same day as Imam Hussein got there. From him, Imam learned details about how Hazrat Muslim bin Aqil and Hazrat Hani bin Urwa had been murdered. Imam Hussein was grief-stricken. Muslim bin Awsaja said to Imam Hussein, "Mawla, I beg you to accept me in your party." Imam Hussein replied, "O Muslim bin Awsaja, whenever I see you, I am reminded of my father. You know that these people will not let me live. You are an old man. Go back to your family and give your children and grandchildren the honor of burying you when you die. Your age excuses you from jihad." When Muslim bin Awsaja insisted, the Imam let him join his entourage. On the night before Ashura, when Imam Hussein told the soldiers, "You are allowed to leave Karbala, and your promises and oath of allegiance have served well so far. You are not obligated to stay for the battle." Then some companions declared their loyalty to Imam Hussein over again. After the descendants of Banu Hashim, Muslim bin Awsaja was the first one who said, "O Abu Abdullah, we will never leave you alone. How is it possible to bring excuses to Allah? Oh, by Allah, never, we will never leave you alone. I will never give up. I will slay the enemies with my spear and sword until it drops on the ground. Then I stone them. By Allah, I will never leave you alone until I fulfill my duties to Allah and defend the descendants of Prophet Muhammad. Oh, by Allah, if I am perished, I would reborn. And then if I am burnt and turned into ashes, I would reborn. And if it happens 70 times, I'll reborn and fight for you until I am martyred for you. I will never leave you as I know I will be perished once. Consequently, eternal prosperity and dignity would be mine." Imam Hussein expressed gratitude to each one of them and returned to his tent. The mystical and knowledgeable mottos of Muslim ibn Awsaja should be highly regarded, which represent his deep understanding of the principles of Ahlul-bayt. He repeatedly uttered this motto in the battles: "If you desire to know me, I am brave as a lion. My lineage goes back to Bani Asad. If you treat me with tyranny, you are strayed from the right path, and you are guilty of ingratitude towards Allah. After fighting the enemy soldiers in the Battle of Karbala, Muslim ibn Awsaja had numerous injuries and he was bleeding heavily. Then he fell on the ground. Imam Hussein and Habib ibn Mazahir came by his side. Imam said, "May God have mercy on your soul." Then he recited the verse, فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ كَزَى نَحْبَهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَنْتَظِرُ وَمَا بَدَّلُوا تَبْدِيلًا. Of them, believers, some have completed their vow to the extreme, and some still wait, but they have never changed their determination in the past. In Surah Al-Ahzab, verse 23. Then Habib ibn Mazahir said to him, "Your loss is hardly tolerable to me, but I give glad tidings to you on paradise." Muslim ibn Awsaja replied with difficulties, "May God send his blessing on you." And Habib replied, "I wish I could carry out what you desire as your will." Muslim replied, "I advise you to defend Imam Hussein to your last breath and never give up trying." And Habib replied, "I will accomplish what you desire and I will make you delighted." According to Ziyarat al-Nahiyya al-Muqaddasa, Muslim ibn Awsaja was the first one who was martyred in the Battle of Karbala. And Imam Hussein promised him salvation by the name of Allah, while those who participated in the martyrdom of Muslim ibn Awsaja are cursed by Allah. The name of Muslim ibn Awsaja was mentioned in the ziyarah of Imam Hussein of 15th of Shaban and other ones. May Allah send his curse on the killers of Muslim ibn Awsaja. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.